Okay, we are back. I'm sure you read it in the news the last day or two where former mayor, Trump confidant Rudy Giuliani is now being sued by his ex-wife. We're talking a large sum of money, about $260,000 or else. Here to discuss, no one better, Evan Schein. He's a partner of Berkman, Bottger, Newman, and Schein. Family law attorney, handles a lot of custody cases. In this type of situation, divorce law as well, a specialty. Welcome, Evan, back into the airwaves here on Long Island. Evan, welcome.
Good morning.
Was this kind of out of left field here as far as the Giulianis are concerned? Give us the latest, kind of clarify what's going on here.
Sure. Out of left field, probably not. Look, the Giulianis had a contentious divorce, as you know, it's been reported throughout the media. But the reality is, when one person does not comply with the terms of their divorce agreement, it's not uncommon for the other party to seek enforcement, or in this case, seek contempt of court.
I know they were filed Tuesday in the Supreme Court of the state, but Judith Giuliani claiming that Rudy, is in contempt of court, allegedly withholding, should have been paid under the terms of their divorce settlement, things like, and we're talking high-end stuff here, with a Palm Beach house down in Florida, housekeeper, private club fees, that type of thing. I mean, how does, if everything is sort of regulated as far as the settlement is concerned, it's all about compliance here, correct?
That's absolutely correct. At the end of the day, it's about did Mr. Giuliani comply with the terms of the agreement? And the court process is a process. It's not going to be over quickly. And at the end of the day, although Mr. Giuliani is requesting imprisonment, it appears as one of the forms of the relief. We're very far away from that being a reality, but Mr. Giuliani is doing himself no favor so long as he continues to not comply with the terms of the agreement as reports have it.
Give me an idea as far as, when everything kind of got started now. How does it work? Obviously, you got assets lifted left and right, shared. Listen, they were married for quite some time. It was about 15 years or so. So, in essence, give me about the rights of each party here. How does that work as far as law is concerned? Now, there's laws, obviously, that have to be dictated in a couple of states based on residence and everything else, correct?
That's correct. At the end of the day, the parties signed an agreement. They settled their case without a trial. They signed an agreement. So in terms of any post-judgment divorce action, which is what we're dealing with right now, the terms of the parties' divorce agreement are what dictates and what governs. So at the end of the day, Mr. Giuliani is alleging that Mr. Giuliani did not comply with the terms of the agreement. And she's going to have to show that there were terms that he specifically did not comply with, financial payments that he specifically did not make. And if she can do that throughout the course of the post-judgment process, she will prevail in terms of whatever relief she's seeking, whether it's enforcement, whether it's contempt. And at the end of the day, really what she's looking for, as reports are, she's looking for the payments to be made by Mr. Giuliani in compliance with the terms of the parties' agreement, whether it's a buyout from a house, whether it's a lump sum payment, whatever she's specifically alleging, that's what she's looking for. And at the end of the day, she's looking for strict compliance with the agreement, with the underlying divorce document that the parties signed.
Talking with Evan Schein regarding the Giuliani case, accused of withholding about $262,000 or so in various fundings, ladies and gentlemen. So when you look at this and you look at a guy like Giuliani, who has, you would guess, some significant earnings from his media-related contracts and deals, his own firm and everything else. I mean, you have to wonder why the gap here. Why would there be some sort of non-compliance, and that from Rudy Giuliani, in your estimation?
It's a great question. It's hard to speculate, and you never know what happens behind closed doors. Reports are that Giuliani's law license has been suspended in different states, and who knows? At the end of the day, the court's going to look at the agreement, the four corners of the contract. Did Mrs. Giuliani receive the payments? Did she receive the property? Did she receive the assets that she was entitled to receive under the agreement? And if she's able to show that there is an agreement that governs and Mr. Giuliani did not pay, then she's going to be entitled to the relief or part of the relief that she's requesting in compliance with the terms of the agreement.
What about, give me an idea, estimated fortune is being estimated at around $30 million that the pair had amassed. A very contentious battle going on right here. That has to play a lot as far as everything is concerned in these courts, no?
Absolutely. Look, this was a divorce that played out in the public spotlight throughout the media. And again, you're seeing it play out post-divorce in terms of the current action, post-judgment filed by Mrs. Giuliani. And I'm going to keep going back to the agreement because the divorce agreement is going to be what governs at the end of the day. And if Mrs. Giuliani can show that any part of this agreement was not honored, was not upheld, and she's due all the money, then the ball is going to be in Mr. Giuliani's court in terms of finding a way to pay what he's supposed to pay pursuant to the agreement, or it's going to be left up to the judge.
About, listen, we know Rudy's been out there in the news with the election stuff and everything else. I think he's being sued for he's being sued for a lot of money. I know his law license suspended both in the District of Columbia because of ethics charges, New York as well. Does that come into the equation at all as far as, the overall way in which he, makes a living as far as that and what he's being sued for? How does that come into play?
Well, Mr. Giuliani is not any different than anyone else at the end of the day. And, the reality is post-judgment proceedings in a divorce action, they're quite common because when someone doesn't comply with the terms of the agreement, unless there's a deal, unless there's a settlement, unless the parties can work things out themselves, when someone has not complied or made a payment that is specifically owed under the agreement, whether it's Mr. Giuliani or anybody else, they're going to find themselves in this position. So if Mr. Giuliani's on the election circuit or doing whatever he's doing, at the end of the day, it comes down to the agreement, the divorce settlement, and is any part of it still owed to Mr. Giuliani?
We'll keep an eye on things here. Interesting stuff regarding what will happen to the former mayor of New York City, America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani, of course, a Donald Trump confidant back in the day. Certainly in the news with this. Evan, we'll keep an eye on things. Evan Schein coming into play here regarding what could be a very large settlement in play as far as compliance and whatnot. Evan, thanks for a couple of minutes here.
Thanks for having me.